Hiya! So I was recently going through my old video and came across my old 50 facts about me tag that I'd filmed years and years ago. It's been a while since I've really sat down and kind of just got up close and personal with you guys, and I've been doing YouTube for a while, but it's always been so focused on food and travel that I really missed just sitting down, having a chat and that kind of stuff. So I thought I would film an updated 50 facts about me, but this time to open up a lot more and be a bit more personal about things that I've never mentioned before, and then just get to know somebody properly. So not just like my favourite colour, stuff that you would discuss between friends. I'm a little bit nervous about it because I don't know, I think it's always a bit like scary when you open up to somebody, but then it just makes you feel that much closer to them, and I love you guys, as you know, so yeah, it's time. Okay, so number one, my name is Shu. I don't know why I had to look at my phone for that to remind me. It's actually short for sushi, and it actually means in Chinese literature and poem. Shi meaning poem. My name was actually picked by a blind fortune teller in an ancient Chinese temple in China. I kid you not. Yes. My grandmother rang my dad when I was born and was like, give me her details, when was she born, what day, what time, and I'll go and find a fortune teller to find the best name for her destiny. So then she went over to the temple, he came up with this name and was like, she's going to be creative in literature and the arts and things like that, and then voila! Sushi was born. I come from a very, very humble background, and my parents moved over to the UK with barely a penny to their names. I am always forever grateful for everything they've sacrificed to come over to the UK in order to give us a better life. We were actually born in the UK, and they have done everything they can just to make sure that we have got a roof over our head, we've got food in our tummies. Because of that, I totally understand where money comes from. We've been through some very, very tough times, and I never take for granted for the things that I do have, because I know how hard it is to earn the things that you have around you. But yes, I have a lot of respect for my parents for that, and they are the hardest working people that I know. Number four, I started working for my parents when I was technically 3 years old. We had a takeaway. My sister was born, and then when my mum was running upstairs to attend to my crying sister, I apparently went downstairs when I heard the phone ringing and picked up the phone and went, "Good evening, City Lang, how may I help you?" and tried to answer the takeaway order. Bearing in mind my vocabulary back then wouldn't probably extend to spring rolls and chicken curry, but I tried to keep the person amused on the phone apparently for as long as I could before my mum came down and took the order. But she was like, "Yeah, you're really smart, what happened?" But yeah, officially I actually started working for my parents' restaurant when I was 11 years old. I'd like to say I was a pretty good waitress. I got quite a few tips, especially during Christmas, because I'd get the dimples out and just be like, "How's your day? How's Christmas shopping going?" So yeah, tips is always quite good. So my birthday is in August the 19th, and I'm a Leo. And I used to hate having a birthday in the summer because all the kids got to give us sweets at the end of the day at school, and I could never do that, and everybody was always on holiday, so I never had anyone to play with. So I mentioned this earlier, but I was born in London, but I've actually moved 18 times since I was born across different parts of the UK, namely being just the south coast and London, and different parts of London. So yeah, 18 times so far, and I envision a few more times in the future. I have always wanted a career in food, and when my parents asked my sisters and I what we wanted to be when we were growing up, my sisters were like, lawyer, an accountant, and I pointed at the TV at this very overweight man, Chinese like presenter dude, he's very famous, very great, called Toto, and was like, I want to be like him. I want to be paid to taste food and eat around the world. And now, a few years later, here I am doing just that, so I feel like job well done. In terms of day-to-day things, I'm pretty much an open book, as a cliche, but I do wear my heart on my sleeve, so every emotion you see will be reflected on my face, and I'll probably tell you because I'm a very emotional person. But actually, when you dig beneath the surface, I don't open up to a lot of people about the stuff that actually really, really matters to me. And I could probably count on my hand like less than 5 people, including my sisters, of people who've actually discussed things that really are dear to my heart with, and it takes me quite a lot to be able to open up to somebody to that level. But yes, but then that's with everybody else, isn't it? My friends are family to me. They have always been. I wake up every single day being so grateful to have the friendships that I do, and yeah, very, very lucky. Very, very lucky. I can't wait to grow old, and I know a lot of people dread getting older, and obviously I know that I'm 25, so I'm in a position to be like, I don't mind getting older, but I've never been like, oh, I'm turning 25 next year, oh, I'm turning 26 next year. I just think it's such a blessing. Like, when you compare to people 50 years ago, 60 years ago, they could barely live till 40, 50, and now we've got people that are, the life expectancy have completely shot up. They can live till like 100, 110, and I think that is absolutely amazing to see that many things in your life, and I'm really looking forward to hitting those different milestones, like being a mother, being a grandmother, buying my first house, having my first child. Things like that have all yet still to come, and I'm just really excited about it, and I'm excited to see how I grow as a person and to be able to look back on this period of life and hopefully be very, very proud of myself and the things that I've done. So I've created the most embarrassing email addresses in my time. I mean, who hasn't? But these ones are pretty bad. One of them was rainbow, full stop, cherry, full stop, fairy, @hotmail.co.uk. I'll come on to that in a second. And another one was Careless Whispers, after the George Michael song. Yeah, I had a lot of email addresses, and I still use one now, and it's so embarrassing because I've used it for years, so I can't be bothered to, you know, unsubscribe from a load of things, but having to repeat on like the phone saying, yep, it's this, they're like, oh, did you make that when you were 12? I'm like, yes, I did. I once won the Best Smile Award in Year 6 during a school trip to Lodge Hill, and I'm still pretty proud about that. Coming back to the fairy thing, I used to be obsessed with fairies growing up, and I just love the idea of having these magical spirits and creatures like roaming through the woods and the streets and stuff. And I came up with a comic book once in Year 9 depicting different fairy characters in my head, and they had a whale of a time. I have 2 little sisters, and we are all very, very close. We pretty much speak on a daily basis, and I love them more than life itself. So I've always identified myself as an extrovert, but now that I'm getting a little bit older, I realise that I have a lot more introverted tendencies than I realised, and I do really love my own space as well. So yeah, I guess the term for that is an ambivert, I think. According to Myers-Briggs, I am also an ENFP personality type. My favourite food in the entire world is dim sum, but you probably already knew that, but I just had to include a fact about dim sum in there somewhere. I'm a big believer of listening to your gut instinct. I feel like it's pretty amazing that sometimes your body knows better than your mind. So yeah, a lot of things in life I always try to listen to my gut instinct. And the few times I regret things is because I've listened to it but I've not followed it. So yeah, I'm not going to be doing that anymore. My favourite alcoholic drink is Japanese whiskey or an old-fashioned, but I wouldn't say no to a G&T as well. Oh, or a Long Island iced tea. You probably would have guessed this already, judging by me talking about my old man tendencies. I would probably say that I have an old soul, and I posted a picture recently on Instagram showing basically my dream scenario of wearing a really fluffy, actually no, tartan dressing gown with some tartan slippers, be by a roaring fire. I'll have a glass of whiskey in my hand, a snoring dog on my right hand side, a classic book on my left hand side, and a tin of shortbread biscuits in front of me. So basically my dream is to become a Scottish old man. Don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon, but that is probably my dream scenario. Oh, and we'll be in a log cabin, it'll be snowing outside, can't get outside, can't do any social media stuff, and it'll be fantastic and great, and we'll have really good food and custard and dim sum, and life is amazing. Now this is probably going to be a surprising one, but I've always wanted to be a mother, and I want to have kids before I'm 30. Now obviously circumstances change, and it depends on if you meet the right person that you want to have kids with, and if it's the right time, and I definitely want to experience enough of life to then be able to share the stories and support to my future children. But then actually when I think about it, that's less than 5 years, so then that does kind of freak me out a bit. But yeah, I've always wanted to have kids before I'm 30. I've no idea why, who knows, but it definitely won't be in anytime soon. I play the flute. I'm actually grade 6 in flute, but I gave up in about, I think, year 11, just before I started college, because I had a really cool teacher and then she left, and then a new teacher called Miss Hogg came, and she wasn't very nice, and she always spat. Not intentionally, I don't think, but every time she spoke, I just had so much spit on my face that I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I really want to take it back up again, and I want to get to grade 7, watch this space for maybe a cover in the near future. So I have 6 piercings. I used to be 7, but I was thrown in a pool during summer and it kind of ripped out my piercing off my snug. And I really want to get more, but I'm not sure where. Probably be the ears or stuff. But I've recently removed my belly piercing actually, so I guess now I have 5 because I had to have the appendix surgery and I haven't put it back in because I just feel like a belly piercing is very Britney Spears, like 90s. So yeah, haven't decided to put it in. So I never really feel like I fit in with people my own age, partly because I had to grow up very, very quickly when I was younger and to deal with a lot of family stuff. But yeah, 25, but probably going on 65. So I really hate asking for help, and it's something that I'm working on. I really am. But I'm very, very stubborn, and I am a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to work. So yeah, not very good at doing that, but I am trying to work on it. My favourite concert I've ever been to was to see Bon Iver in Seoul, which I've actually linked here. And we wanted to go to Seoul anyway, and it just so happened that Bon Iver was doing an Asian tour there, so we were like, let's go. Arrived 4 hours early and then queued outside in the snow. Very, very cold, but it was so worth it because I could see up his nostrils. I was so close and it was the most magical night of my life. My favourite place I've ever been to is either Rome, because I love Roman history, and to be in the Colosseum and to walk around the streets of Rome was an absolute dream. Taiwan, because it really surprised me of how much I actually loved it. Or Japan, and I'm desperate to see more of the country. I only got to see Tokyo, and I really want to go to see other parts of Japan as well, so maybe in 2018. My dream destination, top destination, is Hawaii. I have been obsessed with that place since I was little, and now that I feel comfortable in the water and I want to do scuba diving and I want to go and do tiki dancing and eat poke and just run around and observe the nature, and yeah, it's just my dream to go there. Out of all the places I've ever been to, I probably identify with Barcelona the most. I just absolutely love the food, the culture, the art, Gaudi, everything about it. It's just so like amazing, and I'm honestly a bit of a sucker for bohemian culture as well. So yeah, wandering through the streets of Barcelona, desperate to go back there again. So I might try and organise a weekend away sometime soon. I've never lived abroad before, and I really want to live abroad for at least a year, especially in Asia. So I had a deep fear of water due to a banana boat incident when I was 18 in Turkey, when the banana boat flipped over my head and pushed me down into the sea, and I couldn't get myself out of the boat. So since then I've been petrified of going in deep water, but I overcame that fear in Thailand earlier this year, and since then have been snorkeling and swimming in the sea in 5 or 6 different countries, and very, very proud of that. I still haven't got my driving licence. I was very, very close to doing it, and then I moved to university, and since being in London I've just been very, very bad with it, so I'm hoping to get it soon because I would quite like to be able to drive. I second guess myself a lot, and one thing I want to do for 2018 is to stop not believing in myself. I want to have the confidence to go for the things that I want, to do the things that I want, and not have to put myself down all the time. I've got a few favourite films. One of them is Trance. It's a Danny Boyle film with James McAvoy. It's absolutely amazing if you love psycho thrillers, art, and that so on. I also love Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, La La Land, 500 Days of Summer, and of course Harry Potter. So I've always loved creating things, and when I was 3 years old I scribbled all over my parents' living room walls, and they repainted over it about 6-7 times, and I just continued to do it. And then when my 2 little sisters were born, guess what I taught them to do? We were all drawing on the walls together with felt tips, permanent markers, colouring crayons, wax crayons. We just decorated a blank canvas and turned it into a piece of art, much to my parents' dismay. I also learned how to melt wax crayons on the heater and created a wonderful rainbow art for them to come back to after an 18-hour working day. They were really my biggest fans growing up. One thing that I always do is to try and see the best in people until proven wrong. Oh, this is an exciting one. I'm launching a blog. I've been writing a few blog posts recently, and I'm very, very excited to share them with you. It's going to be a lot more personal, like insight into my life. It's going to be travel pieces, food pieces, recipes, photography, all of that jazz, and I'm so excited to share that with you once I've got enough posts to kind of push them out for a few weeks. So yeah, watch this space. I love seafood. I've actually got a video of it, but I have not put it live yet. Was challenged to an oyster eating competition by my friend Laurie during the 2-week gig, and she was like, I bet you can't eat 30 oysters in 30 minutes. So I was like, challenge accepted. 8:31. Very proud of myself. Probably eaten more, but was thinking about my cholesterol levels. I've also eaten an entire home sliced 20-inch pizza as well, and it was very, very good. I was very, very full. Oh, and I also once won a t-shirt for eating 1 kilogram of ribs and fries. I think this was at Porky's in Shoreditch, and it was actually during a date. Yeah, I mean, I'm not very, I don't really get scared about eating in front of people, but I don't know whether it's a good date idea to be like, hey, how about we go and eat 1 kilogram of ribs? He bet I couldn't do it, won the t-shirt, so I proved him wrong. Every conversation I have usually ends up being about food. I love cinematic music. My favourite composer is Hans Zimmer, who I saw at Wembley a few years ago. Again, one of my favourite concerts ever. And I have a playlist on my phone of when I go on the tube, when I'm commuting or go on a plane, where it's all very, very dramatic and amazing, and I pretend that I am a spy. I have a soft spot for dramatic Asian TV shows, especially period dramas. Adore them. I don't have sugar in my tea or coffee because I am sweet enough. You can vomit now. Puns are a surefire way of making me laugh, and I love dad jokes. Cheesier, the better. My favourite flowers are peonies or sunflowers. I get bored very, very easily, but I also get amused very easily as well. And the only consistent hobby I've had is video making, and I started making it when I was like 13, so it's been 12 years and I'm still making videos, so yeah. I actually started this channel because I wanted to practice speaking in front of an audience for my drama course during college, and didn't ever think anybody would ever watch it. Started off as a fashion channel because I was an obsessive gossip girl at the time, and just branched out in fashion, and now a few years later I'm still documenting my life on it, and I still can't believe people are watching. And my last fact is that I just wanted to say that I am so thankful and grateful to every single person that watches these videos. Honestly, it's been an absolute joy documenting these things that's happened throughout the past few years, and I honestly don't think I could have found a better bunch of people to share it with. Your comments, your feedback, your love means so much to me, especially recently when I had an emergency appendix surgery. I put it on Instagram and I was just literally showered with love, and it's making me emotional to think about it. But we all started off as strangers on the internet, but I genuinely don't see anybody as a stranger. People who take time out of the day to send me a message or to check in every few days, they're not strangers to me. You guys are friends to me, and yeah, just wanted to say huge thank you. I honestly wouldn't have had the opportunities that I've had if it wasn't for you. And I know it's like a cliche thing that people say when they make videos, and it means so much to me. So yes, I'm going to end it on a personal note. But yeah, this video is going to be very, very long because I am a waffler and a rambler, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless, and that you enjoyed getting to know me a little bit better and to know what goes on inside this little brain of mine. But yeah, if you've got any questions, please leave it in the comments below. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and if you are new to the channel, hi, I'm Shu. And please click subscribe for more travel, lifestyle, food content. We'd love for you to join with the little old family. And yes, I shall see you in my next video, where hopefully I don't sound as nasal. But I hope you're having a lovely morning, afternoon or evening, and I shall see you very, very soon. Bye.